Oh, I'm getting pumped. I was loving that. You're killing me. You're killing me, Smalls.
Behind the scenes with Royish good looks studio diary.
Hello. Today is Friday, April 21st. This is the 17th studio session for The Mandalorian. Today is going to be, I guess what we'll call like mix revisions day one. I've got a whole set of notes here in Notes app. You know, we've kind of done some work like this before. A few things that I want to record. The background vocals for the last chorus, not really a revision, but a thing I've been kind of putting off. Side note, anytime that I've ever worked with an artist or a band, we always save like percussion, tambourine, shaker, and gang vocals for like the last day in the studio. It's always a really fun kind of like end cap to a project. And gang vocals, it's just me. There's no gang here today. Royish Good Looks is not a whole band, it's just me. So that's gonna be me doing a couple different takes, maybe putting on a couple different voices. At the very least, I'm gonna go hard and just have some fun singing along with like the mostly finished song. So I've been saving that, and I wanna do this octave riff in the very last chorus. So a couple of recording things that I'm probably gonna save till after the rest of these mix notes. Bunch of random things for the verses, a few things in the pre-chorus, a couple things in the chorus. The solo, I took like the same note a bunch of different times here of like, it's just loud and piercing and annoying, and I needed to tuck it in to the mix a little bit more, and then just a couple other random things to check. So not really a whole lot to do, little like details here and there. If you've thought the process so far has been long and drawn out and monotonous, now is when it really gets into the weeds of like, let's turn this thing up by 2 dB, or let's turn this down by 1 dB, or left or right, and get really minute with the changes we're making on the mix when, you know, it kind of sounds the way it's gonna sound roughly. It's not gonna be much different in the final version, but I'm going for that, you know, special sauce, which is where these details matter the most. The kind of thing that, yeah, you will miss if you're listening to the song on YouTube at 480p and in low resolution on a phone or laptop speakers, but maybe on headphones or nice speakers, you know, some of these details will matter a little bit more, you know, which is the way I listen to music, on headphones, on speakers in a room, really intently. So I'm kind of designing it for me and for those people that really care about that level of detail in a production. So hopefully that's you as well, and maybe that's why you enjoy some of my music. But in any case, I've got this list of things to do, so we will go through these one by one, tweak everything as we go. By the end of the day, this is actually technically going to be mix number 12, or I guess I would probably call this mix 1 at this point. Once you finally got a version that's like, hey, I don't really have anything planned left to do until I discover some kind of spelling error that I need to, you know, fix. If we can get a solid version by the end of today, I think that puts us in good shape to, you know, switch to working on the video, come back for revisions on this, and maybe have this ready by next week, if not the week after. So I think we're right on track. I'm in a pretty good headspace, and let's jump in to some of these notes.
Behind the scenes.
V1 punch up. I just want to make verse 1 more interesting. V1 effects part 2 turn up. So the second sort of tagline of the vocals will turn up.
You took the creed and believe this is the way. All of your life you've been both hunter and prey. You're a Mandalorian. Does that make you Mandalorian? And you would grow up never showing your face.
Cool. Just 0.7 dB there. Bring that up a little bit. Slap delay and or vibe effects for effects parts. I think I did this off screen the other day already. If we listen to this part, let's turn the guitar off.
You took the creed and believe this is the way.
Yeah, already brought in this slap delay. Voke slap and voke eighth note.
You took the creed and
We turn them off.
You took the creed and believe this. You took the creed and believe this is.
Just a little bit of space, maybe a little bit more reverb there.
You took the creed and believe this is the way.
Bring that up maybe like a dB.
You took the creed and believe this is the way.
And since we have the two mixes, we can compare and contrast with the original mix. So here's the original.
You took the creed and believe this is the way.
Here's the new mix.
You took the creed and believe this is the way. You took the creed and you took the creed and believe this.
Okay, Subtle thing on speakers here, but I think on headphones, that's where I made that note from. Totally different aside here. We're mentioning hearing the details on headphones or speakers. When you're on headphones, you don't hear, the room around you. So things like reverb and delay, the spatial effects in the mix become really apparent. And when you're just on speakers in a room, you naturally hear the ambiance around you, and your speakers technically reverberate in the room as well. So a very dry vocal sounds natural coming out of speakers, but on headphones might be a little bit uncomfortable. So that's a easy fix there, just to add a little bit more reverb than you think you might need to. So we'll check that off. V1 effects, even smaller, less distortion. This is something I think I played with already. I'm gonna check that off for now. I like the level of the distortion. All right, V2 tom accent up. So let's jump over to verse 2. That boom right there. Come on, Pro Tools, you can do it, baby. Toms, automate the level here. Just one beat. Let's just turn it up. We could turn the whole drum bus up, maybe even. That would be cool. It's another thing that's hard to hear on speakers in a room if you're not in the sweet spot. Right? Like, it's hard for me to hear all that low end. I'm sure it sounds funny on headphones. Let's listen on headphones, get a better idea. Yeah, that's definitely too much there. A couple dB. Let's see what would happen if we did the whole drum bus, though. Turn all the drums up by 2 dB. Nah, just the tom-tom is the important part there. Just a little bit of boom. Maybe we can make it sustain a little bit. You can handle it, come on. Actually, you know what? I turned on a couple of extra effects. Maybe we can turn them off temporarily. All right, a little better than it was. All right, V2B to pre-C2, not halftime, use V1B beat. I think we've already fixed this as well. There's some old notes that I just never checked off. So let's listen to the drums. Yeah, see, I might have fixed this already.
Does that make you Mandalorian?
Yeah, so that's fixed, right? Yeah, that's done. Check. V2B, lead R, palm mute, not rocking enough. I also think we fixed this the other day, potentially off camera. This riff here. Yeah, I just wanted some more grit on this little part here. So this is the DI in the waveform that we're looking at. If we turn off the amp simulators, right, it's just the dry guitar. So when we turn this waveform up, it feeds the amplifier more signal, distorts a little bit more, sounds a little bit more rock and roll. Hear it in the mix. A little cooler now. Verse guitars versus chorus guitars, big versus small. So I don't know if this means we need to do like 2 different amp simulators or just reduce the gain. Like if we literally just said we're gonna reduce the gain here. Okay, cool. So this is actually gonna solve a couple of problems for me, because I thought that like the first pre-chorus was a little bit too like full and it needed to like lay back more to let the chorus open up more and feel more powerful. So part of that is like the actual musical arrangement. Part of that is the dynamic arrangement. So here, the guitar is like distorted the same amount the whole time. So let's distort it less in the verse, a little bit more in the pre-chorus, and even more in the chorus sort of thing. So I think this will help. Okay, but then this being 12, I guess is not necessarily the case. We can bring this back up to 8. You know, I've never really done this on such a macro level before. Like for sure I've had different distorted guitars that kind of like come in and out during the song, but never really spent a lot of time like, you know, clicking the distortion pedal on one track to boost the level up a little bit. So this clip gain thing, it's kind of a really cool workaround for this. Big to small, we can call that. V2 guitars automate lower, higher between main section and interlude. So on that same sort of note, think I already did this. Yeah. They're down a dB here.
Forever forged are the words in your heart. You're a Mandalorian. Does that make you
Let's review this with the other mix.
Mandalorian? Does that make you Mandalorian? Does that make you Mandalorian?
Subtle difference, but let's go with it. Trust your gut. V2 lead R into pre-chorus. C2 has weird arranging with no thirds after V2. So this might be a recording thing. I don't know, because this, if we solo it, the right guitar here is doing this cool third. Yeah, that part there. Ba-na-na-na-na-na. And then it doesn't go to anything interesting after. Could also just be the timing. Could be fixed to sound more natural, I guess. Yeah.
Does that make you Mandalorian? If you would only understand.
Maybe having turned up the octave there helped. All right, let's go with that for now, because that really isn't a big deal, and I don't want to change the whole guitar arrangement. V3, vocal effects, 2 to 3K. I think I fixed that the other day as well. So V3, gotta get better at checking off the notes.
Scattered like stars through the galaxy.
Yeah.
Where do you belong? What do you believe?
Too much
You're
radio EQ.
scattered like stars through the galaxy. Where do you belong? What do you believe? You're a
This
Mandalorian.
needs to be dipped down in like the verb a little bit more though. Let's see, so that's checked off, that's fine. The effect's more defined though, so that is, I think that's what I mean. Needs a little bit more of that effect. We have to send more, or just turn up one of the returns.
Through the galaxy. Where do you belong?
Oh, there's no reverb. Maybe that's the problem.
Scattered like stars through the galaxy. Where do you belong? What
The same thing, that's why, there's just no space around it, right?
Scattered like stars through the galaxy. Where do you belong? What do you believe? You're
Yeah, I don't know if this is gonna help. It's funny, I removed all these effects so that it would sound more dramatic, but it also made it really dry, just like we were talking about earlier.
scattered like stars through the galaxy. Where do you belong?
Subtle, but
Galaxy.
maybe that'll help.
Where do you belong?
V3 tom buildup needs automation.
Always a Mandalorian. If you
Maybe it's the guitars?
Mandalorian. Always a Mandalorian.
It seems like the drums almost might be too loud, and then guitars need to be louder.
Mandalorian. Always a Mandalorian.
They overdid it, but it's funny, you have to overdo it.
Mandalorian. Always a Mandalorian.
Could almost be the entire mix in general.
Mandalorian. Always a Mandalorian. A Mandalorian. Always a Mandalorian.
You know what? There should be like a huge room splash there. Drum hall we've not used. Wonder if we can just ratchet that up.
The Mandalorian.
That's funny. Let's do a drum hall master and only feed it that one beat. Master fader, drum hall master.
Always a Mandalorian.
Only want to send it that one moment though. That's so cool. Wonder if we can do that on the that verse part. Where's the do 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 boom? That's so cool. We got all these. This is our new trick. You know what? That side stick, wherever that is, let's automate an EQ for this one section on off. There's this quack here. And the other thing that maybe we want to do is SPL. A little more punchy and defined. Yeah, a little bit more defined. All right, so that was a little tirade there, but that's the kind of stuff that you reveal through these mix revisions of like, close, but no cigar quite yet. V2 palm mutes glitch, I fixed the other day. I know I did. V1 needs less distortion into pre-C1. Oh, maybe that was just in general the guitars? V2B, bass run down from high octave or run down low. V2B.
One of them now, a surprise to be sure. Will you keep walking the way of the Mandalore? You're a Mandalorian. Does that make you Mandalorian? If you would.
Don't know. I'm gonna check that off because if I want to come back to that. Here's the other thing. If I have a note and the note doesn't resonate with me, it's like I've either already forgotten about it and it's not a big deal, or I guess that's it. I don't have the same feeling right now. The saving grace would be that I'm gonna listen to this again a million times, and if it's still an issue, then I'm gonna end up making a note of it. Like you'll see, I have like 5 different notes about the same thing for the guitar solo, which is like, the guitar solo is annoying me. I know I need to work on it. Whereas if the bass needs this fill, I'll hear that it needs the fill again. I guess we can listen one more time from like the whole verse, but that doesn't make any sense to me, that note.
Deep in the mines to redeem and restart, and forever forged are the words in your heart. You're a Mandalorian. Does that make you Mandalorian? You're one of them now, a surprise to be sure. Will you keep walking the way of the Mandalore? You're a Mandalorian. Does that make you Mandalorian? If you would only understand.
Nah, I don't hear it. I think what I might have been thinking was like, but we go up an octave into the pre-chorus too. So I think that note is a mute point. Mute point? Mute point. Mute point. Yeah. Okay, let's take all this out and then V1 punch up. I guess let's just listen to verse 1 and see how we feel about it, because that is like the most important part of the song.
You took the creed and believe this is the way. All of your life you've been both hunter and prey.
You know what it could use? Maybe we can bring in some of the V throw, like at a really low level.
You took the creed and believe this is the way.
Kind of allude to the third verse.
You took the creed and believe this is the way. All of your life you've been both hunter.
This kind of reminds me of like the beginning of More Machine Now Than Man. This young boy is gonna leave the sands of Tatooine. I come in pretty strong, kind of similar to this. It's like drenched in reverb, and then the rock and roll kicks in. So kind of same idea.
You took the creed.
Although I did want this to be like dramatic, dry, and then boom, hit you real hard. I guess that More Machine Now does that as well. Again, there's this trade-off of like how lonely and exposed are you comfortable leaving a track? And right now, I'm super uncomfortable with this first verse. I'm kind of getting used to it. I didn't even tell you, but I ended up re-recording a bunch of it yesterday. Right before I mixed everything down, I did, another 24 takes of it. So, moral of the story is I am so worried about this first verse because I didn't sing it as good as I wanted to sing it, even though I tried to on 3 different occasions. Now I'm using effects to sort of counteract that insecurity. That's exactly what it is. So maybe we'll have a little bit of this reverb and that will help.
You took the creed and believe this is the way. All of your life you've been both hunter and prey. You're a Mandalorian. Does that make you Mandalorian? If you would grow up, never showing your face. You and your tribe, it's just how you were raised. You're a Mandalorian. Does that make you Mandalorian? If you would only understand.
All right, I think that's better than it was with a lot of different effects mixing there. The only other thing I'm worried about is like the transition between the affected vocal and the not affected vocal.
Been both hunter and prey. You're a Mandalorian.
Like this comes in unaffected, which is a little weird.
All of your life you've been both hunter and prey. You're a Mandalorian. Does that make you man?
Maybe this needs to come down just a little bit. It's either this, maybe it's the main vocal too loud. I don't know.
Hunter and prey. You're a Mandalorian.
It's also a little bit different timing here.
And prey. You're a Mandalorian.
All right, that's kind of cool.
Does that make you Mandalorian? If you would grow up, never showing your face. You and your tribe, it's just how you were raised. You're a Mandal. Your tribe, it's just how.
Tribe!
Your tribe, it's just how you were.
All right, that smoothed that out a little bit. Next on the list, V1 punch up. So let's take that, cross it out. Pre-C, some other melodic push other than guitar or ping pong. Pre-C stand punch up. I think I already did this.
You would only understand. It's more than best.
yeah, I don't mind that. I think what this needs, all right, so let's make a BG music. Actually, you know what, should that be all capitals? BG music, and then we'll add, I don't know, let's just try piano. This is maybe a little bit outside of the mixing thing. This is more on the production recording side, but let's add mini grand. Plink, plink, plink. I was gonna use acoustic guitar for this, but I really hate recording acoustic guitar. Even just kind of whole notes could be cool there. I don't really have a favorite color for MIDI instruments. And then let's play around with this. So you know what? Let's just put Soothe on it and we can commit it maybe later. Maybe this needs a little plate after it. And then kind of hard to mix in the level on this thing because it doesn't really give you a good readout. It reads it out down here, so that's stupid. Let's use trim. What makes a man? Is this gonna sound good in the next pre-chorus? Well, let's go up. Okay, pre-chorus 3. That might go through the last chorus too. I do think here. So, piano, let's commit that. Edit selection, do it. All right, so now we can make that piano hidden and inactive. Pro Tools will be a little less angry at us. The fact that it's kind of leaning to one side too is another thing that I would want to work on. Mid-side EQ maybe? Cool. I love how that just kind of pushes the track along. It's the classic Jimmy Eat World sweetness. The very last chorus and outro, there's this fifth that just punches right through. I love that. Such an easy trick. And we can do that in every pre-chorus and then the last chorus as well. What else is on the list? That was only the first thing. Stand, I think we did. C2 needs 3-part harm double into chorus. I think we already did that. That was a recording thing. Yeah, and then the next one, harmed into chorus, more accented. So we recorded them and they need to be even more accented. That's an interesting note.
It's more than Beskar steel that makes the Mandalorian.
I guess we'll just turn up the harmonies for that.
More than Beskar steel that makes the Mandalorian. What makes the Mandalorian?
And I think there is a note in the chorus that says, so we turn those up, chorus harmonies up. Period.
More than Beskar steel.
I think that's simply just like we have the main ones down 2 and then the background's down 4. So like let's just have one of them down 2 and the other at the same volume.
Understand, it's more than Beskar steel that makes the Mandalorian. It's more than Beskar steel that makes the Mandalorian. It's more than Beskar steel that makes the Mandalorian.
Huh. More than Beskar steel that makes the man.
That makes the man.
That
makes the man.
that.
That makes the man.
There's no that on that high note.
That makes the man.
That makes the man.
Beskar steel that makes the man.
Is that part of it? More than Beskar steel that makes the man.
That makes the man.
Yeah, those are all unison. So this is gonna be annoying, but I guess we need to punch that in.
That makes the
man. Gonna have to do some recording. Let's punch in some vocals. What do you say? That makes the Mandalorian. The Mandalorian. Beskar steel. That makes the Mandalorian.
Beskar steel that
Let's see how we're doing with OBS. Bring us back down. Bring it back down. Bring it back down tonight.
That makes the Mandalorian.
Now the question is that tight enough or do we need to tune it a little bit?
That makes the Mandalorian.
I guess let's tune this part because, yeah, you want that to be good, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Everybody get on the dance floor. Okay, what is next? Beskar, pre-C is lame.
It's more than Beskar Steel.
Beskar! Find a better take for Beskar.
It's more than Beskar Steel.
Doesn't sound terrible, but maybe we can find a better one.
Than Beskar Steel. Than Beskar Steel. Than Beskar Steel.
I don't mind that one. 326? Is that, did we use that on any of these? Looks like that might almost be the double. 326 was the double. Okay, so that's a good one. So maybe you could trade it for the double. Let's see what it's like if we swap them.
It's more than Beskar Steel. It's more than Beskar Steel. That makes the...
Someone is mowing or running a very low motor. All I hear is bop, 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 bop. Sounds like Paz Vizsla is next door blowing away some pirates on Navarro. Or Sebulba. Winning a pod race. What's next on the list? Betskar's lame. So hopefully that fixed it. Pre-C3 to C3 double time. So this is a weird one.
Understand, it's more than Beskar Steel. That makes the man.
So in the other pre-choruses, they're halftime, I think, into the choruses.
That makes the...
Yeah, they all do that. I guess I was thinking like we would do this like really punched up thing.
It's more than Beskar Steel. That makes the man.
Yeah, see that's too poppy.
You would only understand. It's more than Beskar Steel. That makes the man.
It's kind of cool though. I guess I gotta get used to it.
Mandalorian, always a Mandalorian. If you would only understand.
Pick's great. This could be up another couple dB. Let's bring it up 3. Let's really go hog wild.
Mandalorian, always a Mandalorian. If you would
All right, too much. How about 4.5? The double time version is fun.
You would only understand. It's more than Beskar Steel. That makes the Mandalorian.
All right. Pretty big decision to make here between keeping that halftime or double time. I feel like halftime, or it's not even halftime, it's the stress beat thing. The stress beat thing is mature, but the double time, it's just like, yeah, and then boo, doo, doo, da, doo, doo. Maybe a better contrast. Let's play it again.
Do you believe you're a Mandalorian? Always a Mandalorian. If you would only understand, it's more than Beskar Steel. That makes the Mandalorian. What makes the...
All right, I think that's the way to go. That's a little bit more exciting, right? You know, we can mix up the guitars for that moment.
More than Beskar Steel. That makes the Mandalorian.
They could even come up another dB there too. Let's bring them up one more dB. It's one louder.
The numbers all go to 11.
Is it any louder?
Well, it's one louder, isn't it?
More than Beskar Steel. That makes the Mandalorian. What makes the man?
Okay, again. So I wanted to go on an octave, because I don't think that's what these leads are doing. So we'll overdub a part on the octaves here. That will give it another extra push. I also feel like that chorus will need like a like bass drop, sub drop thing, or maybe just more crashing into it. Turn the crashes up. The whole part, maybe just bring the crash up a little.
It's more than Beskar Steel. That makes the Mandalorian. That makes the Mandalorian. What makes the
I love that. That's super fun. And then V3 to pre-C3, draw crescendo. So the third verse into the pre-chorus. Did we already do that? Third verse into the pre-chorus. Yeah, we did a ton of that. So these are all good to go. Harm on the what makes the man. What makes the man? We did that yesterday. Gang vocals we'll get to. That's up top. C3 low octave. Mandalorian, what makes the man? Okay, so let's put that up on the to record list. We can take a break for lunch or something. We'll do that. Low octave. Pentatonic fills. I think this is like a bass guitar thing I wanted to do. Do-do-do. We can steal that from the solo maybe. That's cool. That's a cool one. Pentatonic fill, done. Crescendo into C3, which I think we just kind of solved with turning the cymbals up and those guitars up. But let's look at the main buses here. So where would that go from? That would go from 0.8 to 1.3, half a dB up. Oh, and you know what? The crescendo needs to reach the max on the actual, like, beat here, right? All right, cymbals are starting to distract me a little bit. Definitely a little bit more energy, but I got carried away there. So cymbals were up 2 dB. Let's bring them up just, 1 dB maybe. You can check some messages real quick. Joey from Krypton to Alderaan says, I need a close-up of Din for the thumbnail. I think I can't find a large HD one. I was gonna do Grogu, but I don't know if that's enticing for people. Something like this. You know what? Maybe this is almost a good time to take a break. Yeah, good time to take a break, and maybe we can find this little thumbnail for Joey, and I'll be back.
Studio Diary.
So we're back temporarily. I've got a pizza on the way. It's gonna be here soon. So we gotta rip through the rest of these here. Chorus leads up. All right, so we'll just get rid of the trim.
Makes the Mandalorian. What makes the Mandalorian? What
Maybe we'll pump them up 1 dB.
Mandalorian? What makes the Mandalorian? What
Let's do a little comparison.
Mandalorian? What makes
Definitely a little brighter. Let's bring it down to maybe 0.5, because that would be up 2.5. That's still pretty significant. Okay, so chorus leads up, chorus harms up. So we kind of already did that, at least with the third part. What about the first part?
that makes the Mandalorian?
I don't know if we're gonna need that with the lift from the guitars, the guitar leads being up. I'm gonna hold off on that one. Plus we did raise the harmonies for chorus 2 and 3. C3 vocal stack, we fixed that. That was the lead vocal thing here, right? Yeah, we automated that down a couple dB, right? So we fixed that. And then ending, what makes our too low? Oh yeah, so the de-essing is weird. So let's turn the de-essers back to a nominal level.
What makes the man?
That one's okay, but then we have another one I think that ducks too far.
What makes the man? What makes the man?
All right, let's jump that on everybody, because I think that's a huge problem with this. Yeah, 3 dB less of that on everything. The de-essing might be annoying because the background vocals, aren't independently de-essed, so maybe this will help a little bit. I like to double de-ess things because it's just annoying. S's are annoying.
What makes the man? What makes the man?
So is that better?
What makes the man? What makes the man?
Yeah, a couple dB better there. Okay, those are really the main parts. Solo, down, 2 piercing, no 4 and kick. 4 and kick. That's a fix, right? Was that where it was? That's where it was. So that's fixed. Solo down, 2 piercing. I do agree with that still. Maybe it's a like soothe thing on here. Soothe or maybe even Nova. Are we not listening to this mix? Ha, 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 ha. We were not. Yeah, man, that is annoying. blends in a little bit more, and then we also wanted some more effects.
Scattered like stars through the galaxy. Where do you belong?
Ooh, yeah, this needs the DS though.
Scattered like stars through the galaxy. Where do you belong? What do you believe you're?
Yeah, I want the main part to be down, but I want all these to be up. Honestly, these can all be like pre-fader. All of them pre-fader. Why not? So it'll get a lot of effect, but we can then...
Where do you belong? What do you believe you're a Mandalorian? Scattered like stars through the galaxy. It's more than Beskar steel that makes the Mandalorian.
That's gonna need some EQ maybe. Almost too bright.
Steel that makes the man.
How did we not notice how loud that was earlier? Oh, because we already turned these up, right? That was -2. So this doesn't even need to get turned up there.
Steel that makes the Mandalorian.
There you go.
What makes
Problem solved. All right, so as you can hear, my alarm is going off, which means pizza is ready. So the funny thing is that was almost everything, except for a couple of random things. Too much. How do I turn this off while this is going? Okay, so the only things left to do, splash cymbal up, harms, wide, and airy. So I guess we do need to make the harmonies a little bit more special. I said double check if the pitch shifting micro shift plugin's on, which it is. Outro tamb on drum accent. So a couple production things, a couple of the singing things, which maybe after pizza will do. Might not be great on the vocal cords, the spaghetti sauce, but that's how it's gonna have to be. And I will catch up with you when we take care of that either later tonight or maybe even tomorrow. You know, we can take an evening off again. All right, I'll see you then.
behind the scene?
Guess who's back? Back again. Me. Royish Good Looks is back. I've had some pizza. Hopefully I don't have the itis. We've only got a couple more notes to go, so let's see if we can rifle through them, and maybe we can break in time for Jeopardy around 7 o'clock. That would be great, wouldn't it? So, what's left to do under other, and also recording here, but under other, snare somehow make bigger. Paramore question mark? This is kind of an overarching theme that I just want the song to be a banger, and I haven't really done any new mixing to the drums. It's pretty much my usual drum mix, but I think I want to make the snare drum a little bit bigger than I normally would, so there's some work to be done there. I don't want to do that right now though. Too much de-essing, maybe. We already took care of that, so we can just get rid of that. Splash up.
What makes the man deep in the mind?
Want to hear that splash?
Makes the man deep in the
Oh,
mind.
that works there.
What makes the man deep in the
That's cool. Easy peasy. Splash up. That was literally for that one spot. I don't even know if it plays anywhere else. Harms up, wide, and airy. This is another like overarching kind of tonal thing. Not quite as easy to figure out how to manage this, but this might be a headphone thing. Wide and airy.
that makes the Mandalorian? What makes the Mandalorian?
Yeah, how do you make them pristine? Like they're already kind of thinned out.
What makes the Mandalorian? What makes the Mandalorian? That makes the Mandalorian.
All right, I don't know about this top shelf boost, but I do like it clearing up quite a bit of the cloudy mid-range.
Feel that makes the man. Feel that makes the Mandalorian. What makes the Mandalorian? What makes the Mandalorian?
Like that doesn't sound pristine to me. There's maybe, I don't normally use it, but let's see if we can do the mix rack. There's the air.
Feel that makes the Mandalorian.
It's just a little hissy. It's not really what I want to hear.
Feel that makes the Mandalorian. What makes the Mandalorian? What makes the Mandalorian?
None of these sound as smooth as I want them to sound.
That makes the Mandalorian. What makes the Mandalorian? What makes the Mandalorian?
What about, there's the Is it lift? Is that what I want to try?
Feel that makes the Mandalorian. Feel that makes the Mandalorian.
Still like that one more. And then what about Revival, right? Revival's a cool one.
Feel that makes the Mandalorian. Feel that makes the Mandalorian.
Definitely making it bright. All right, and then, I don't know, just for fun, can we try like a distortion? Maybe decapitator?
The Mandalorian.
Kind of cool there.
Feel that makes the Mandalorian. What makes the Mandalorian?
Yeah, real full there.
Feel that makes the Mandalorian.
Let's go with that for now. So you can see how you can get really distracted, like, hey, I want to do something different to this particular track, some different effect. You pull the effect up, and you spend a ton of time tweaking the effect. Here, that was a pretty dramatic difference. We like thinned out the vocal, really brightened it, and gave it a little grit. There's a different sound there, and we're listening in solo, not in context with the mix. You spend all this time working on it, and then you have to figure out, like, is that actually what I wanted to do? Is it helping in the song? So let's take a listen with the actual music going on, because that was not just the chorus vocals. That was the, verse vocals will have that effect as well, unless we automate that on or off.
Mandalore, you're a Mandalorian. Mandalore, you're a Mandalorian. Does that make you Mandalorian? You're a Mandalorian. Does that make you Mandalorian? If you would only understand, it's more than Beskar steel that makes the man.
It's too bright now, too bright.
Mandalore, you're a Mandalorian. Does that make you Mandalorian? If you would only understand, it's more than Beskar steel that makes the Mandalorian.
And again, we can compare with the original to see what the other chorus sounded like.
Makes the Mandalorian. What makes the Mandalorian? The Mandalorian.
Yeah, you could barely even hear the harmonies.
Makes the Mandalorian. Makes the Mandalorian.
Let's check that off. Harmonies wide and airy. They're not wider, but they're less cloudy, at least, and louder than they were before. Micro shift on, so I think it is on.
Makes the Mandalorian. What makes the Mandalorian?
Yeah, this could be interesting for the verses.
You took the creed and believe this is the way. All of your life you've been both hunter and prey.
Minus 12.5.
You took the creed and believe this is the way. All of your life you've been both hunter and prey. You're a Mandalorian.
Let's pump it up for the,
You took the creed and believe this is the way. All of your life you've been both hunter and prey. You're a man.
well, we can check that note off at least. What are we doing? And then outro tam drum accent. This is the last kind of big, not big to do, but last to do. So, do we want tambourine on that very last hit?
What makes the man? What makes the man?
Nah, it might be distracting. So that was maybe more of a test. Don't need it. Snare drum bigger like Paramore. I don't know about that one.
The Mandalorian. What makes the Mandalorian? What makes the
Wow, that doesn't really sound great. It doesn't sound nearly as cool as I would think that would sound. Deverb.
Mandalorian? What makes the man? What makes the Mandalorian? What makes the Mandalorian?
Yeah, simply just turning it up does sound kind of cool, doesn't it?
Mandalorian? What makes the Mandalorian? What makes the man?
I like the volume. Maybe it's for the room mic stuff. I mean, it sounds good. That's the other weird thing is like, you're mixing, especially now that I had pizza and it's late and I'm tired and I'm already like, I'm gonna quit for Jeopardy. It already sounds pretty good. And you make a note, hey, I wanna make it sound better. And it doesn't have to sound better. It's just gonna sound different. It's not bad, doesn't need to be fixed. And if you're not inspired to work on it, don't work on it. Roy? Yeah, how about that? How about them apples, Roy? I guess the next thing's to do, background vocals, main line of the chorus in a low octave. You know, I might just take some alternate takes for that. And I guess gang vocals is the same thing. Descending guitar octave. So, guitar, I'll be right back.
Studio Diary.
So here's what I'm thinking for, actually I don't know what I'm thinking, we gotta figure it out. For the last chorus though. Okay, so we'll do some kind of descending riff. Let's have some fun. All right, double that up, see how that sounds. Oh, of course Pro Tools is gonna quit on us. Come on, man. Be right back. So unfortunately there, we lost the last take, which is just what happens occasionally, but just the one take. Let's just double check the editing a little bit. That's pretty cool. And it sounds really beautiful here in solo. I rather like that sound. And that'll be just a little lift for that last chorus. So let's take those two takes, save on a different playlist. Yeah, you'll notice here that my guitar edits, and bass especially, guitar and bass, you know, I don't clean them up like I clean the vocals up. I get kind of lazy with that, to be honest. Like, I guess I care more about the vocals than the guitars. Like, there's so much distortion on the guitars, and I guess maybe I just play guitar better than I sing, or it's easier to be more accurate with the guitar than vocals anyway. And I used to be much better about, like, consolidating the files for guitars, you know, cleaning up all this and turning this into one big clip rather than all the edits, but not so much lately. I will eventually freeze all of the amp simulators, you know, and I had them frozen before, and that suffices kind of for making one little clip. But anyway, it doesn't really make an impact on the final product. It's just a workflow thing. So I think that's mostly the guitar stuff. It's funny, there's acoustic in this ending here. That's in there. That's so funny. I guess we're keeping that in there unless we add some more. Same thing the other choruses, huh? And the pre-choruses. Last thing to do is to figure out what we're doing for some of these background vocals. So there's one held out part and then just a singing of the main lines. We want to do an octave too. So we can maybe duplicate some more of these. What's this?
That makes the man.
Oh. So that's a 3-part on this funny guy, right?
That makes the man. That makes the man. What makes the man?
I guess we're gonna do some singing to wrap this up, all right? So give me a second, I'll set that up. You know what? I think there's been enough of me singing on camera and maybe even enough footage for today anyway. So I'm gonna do this off camera. So we have gang vocals now. It's not really a proper gang, but it's pretty cool. Check it out. I'll play it here with everything in the last chorus. I basically re-sang the main melody line 6 times in the regular octave, 2 times in the lower octave, and check it out.
That makes the Mandalorian. What makes the Mandalorian? What makes the Mandalorian? What makes the man? What makes the man?
It's just like the guitar thing. It's not really a total different arrangement thing or a harmony or, you know, a new part. It's just a layer on top that hopefully when you get to this last chorus, it'll be like, ah, amen moment sort of thing. You get the choir going. That's always been like my thing, like add more vocals and that'll thicken up the sound. That'll be exciting. And even though it's literally like the same melodies, just having that filling out of the sound, you know, and I treat the reverbs a little bit differently, the EQ a little bit differently, so that it's not just that same main vocal doubled a bunch. It's this new sound left and right. Nothing down the center. These are all panned hard left and right. And that's part of the, you know, allure of the background vocal. It literally has to be a background part, right? Not the main vocal. It's got to be in the background. And hopefully this will work. So, I mean, right now, all I want to do is mix this down and call it a day. And maybe I can make it for Final Jeopardy. It's 7:13. So let's see what we can do here. I want to turn on a bunch of different plugins and hopefully this won't blow up. I want to turn my tape machine back on, soothe, standard clip, the limiter, soothe the vocals, soothe on the drums, and soothe on cymbals. And I think that was it. Everything else is pretty much good to go for the moment. And now let's see, let's see if we can mix this down and I'll label it. Okay, here's another caveat. I don't know if I've talked about this yet. At this point, I think I'm done doing like all the stuff. Like this is a version of the song that sounds great. Vocals are edited. We even did mix revisions today. So this is pretty much mix 1, but I always give myself a mental boost and I'll call it mix 0. Then I can start to think like, okay, this is the song. Does anything need to be spell checked on it? Does anything need to be revised before we commit to the final thing? Surely there'll be 1 or 2 things, probably 1 or 2 dozen, but this is it. So I'm gonna start labeling this. We're gonna call this not demo 12, we're gonna call this mix 0. How about dem apples? How about dem apples? And we're gonna mix this down and see what happens. Here goes nothing.
You took the creed and believe this is the way. All of your life you've been both hunter and prey. You're a Mandalorian.
Okay, already I can tell the delay has gotta go. Or at least go way down. I think there is enough ambiance there, but this delay really heard that poking out.
You took the creed and believe this is the way. All of your life you've been both hunter and prey. You're a Mandalorian. Does that make a Mandalorian? You would grow up never showing your face. You and your tribe, it's just how you were raised. You're a Mandalorian. Does that make a Mandalorian? If you would only understand, it's more than Beskar steel.
Okay, piano, too loud for sure, at least in that spot. So let's just take it down. Do you want to automate it down? Because we don't know how the other ones are. Let's automate this down, 2.5 dB. And these vocals, something about the way that they enter too.
Hunter and prey, you're a Mandalorian.
I still want this to kind of like fade in somehow.
Hunter and prey, you're a Mandalorian. Does that make a Mandalorian? And you would grow up never showing your face. You and your tribe, it's just how you were raised. You're a Mandalorian.
Can't really hear raised. I'm gonna guess pre-chorus 2 might be a little loud as well.
You would only understand.
Yeah, 2.5.
You would only understand. You would only understand. It's more than Beskar.
All right, we get it. You can't handle it. The club can't handle me right now. All right, so let's save some space here if we try to commit some of this stuff. Is it amp simulators maybe that we think are doing it? Or the auto tunes? Let's hit the amp simulators. Freeze up to this insert. All right, let's try again.
You took the creed and believe this is the way. All of your life you've been both hunter and prey. You're a Mandalorian. Does that make a Mandalorian? And you would grow up never showing your face. You and your tribe, it's just how you were raised. You're a Mandalorian. Does that make a Mandalorian? If you would only understand, it's the Mandalorian? What makes the Mandalorian? What makes the man? What makes the
Whoops, I'm on plus 2.2. We got to get that up just a little bit. We got to bump that up.
Mandalorian? What makes the man?
Oh, come on, buddy. You can do it. You can do it. You can do it.
Mandalorian? What makes
You can do it. I know you can.
Mandalorian? What makes the man? What makes the man? Scattered like stars through the galaxy. Where do you belong? What do you believe? You're a Mandalorian. Always a Mandalorian. If you would only understand, it's more than Beskar steel. And
Oh, I'm getting pumped. Yo, I was loving that. I was loving that build-up. That finally felt complete to me. Man. So really what I'm going to have to come back in and do is freeze some more of these tracks because it's obviously not happy with me right now. Maybe a restart would help. This makes me just want to roll the whole song back.
it's more than Beskar steel. That makes
Oh, you're killing me. You're killing me, Smalls. Why is this last part? I guess because that's where the BGVs kick in. Is that really too much to ask for, these BGVs at the end? I guess what we could do is freeze. Freeze the BGVs, baby. Let's freeze. Dang, this is killing me.
you would only understand. It's
Are you freaking kidding me? All right, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try to record it off screen. The funny thing is, I turned OBS off and I was able to get to the end of the song. But the even funnier thing is, and now I know what tambourine strike I wanted to add from that note. It wasn't the very last one. It wasn't the last one here. It was the second to last one. Yeah, so OBS is the killer right now. I think maybe it was even a copy paste error. It might have been, it was supposed to be here maybe from the get-go. Okay, goodbye again, OBS. I got this printed down. This track here, this is Mix 0. That's what the song looks like. You heard most of it. Too bad I couldn't do everything on OBS here. I'm really pushing my Mac Mini to its limits, so them's the grapes right now. There you go. There's Mix 1. Or Mix 0. So this is the first official mix of the song. Now I can actually enjoy my Saturday. Maybe I can take Saturday off. And no, I won't. I'll end up doing something. But we can rest on the mix for a little bit, switch gears to the video, and come back with some fresh ears and finalize it. And we'll be done. It's so close. I'm in a great mood. I stayed in the studio a little bit later than I wanted to today, but the song is completed. You can see the smile on my face. It should tell you everything you need to know. So, I'll see you next time.
behind